Welcome to Plan9Crunch, and today we're going to do another random B or C movie review. And the film today is called The Angry Red Planet, 1959. By the way, I'm Doug Gibson, and here's Joe Gibson with you. And The Angry Red Planet is one of those science fiction movies that were like space operas that started out in the late 1950s and were very low budget. For about 10 years, they had a lot of those. You got The Angry Red Planet, you got The Wizard of Mars, you got Journey to the Seventh Planet, you got The Time Travelers, The Phantom Planet, and just a whole bunch. I really liked The Angry Red Planet. It was directed by Ib Melchior and produced by Sidney Pink. They used something called CinemaMagic because, well, I should give the plot, but they used CinemaMagic, which depicts Mars. It was a combination of hand-drawn animation and acting. In Wikipedia, I don't like it, but I just love it. Let me tell you a little bit about the movie. It opens up in heavy dramatic fashion where all these generals and such are going, and they're all worried that this group they sent out to explore Mars seems to be missing, and they don't know what to do. And eventually they think everyone's dead as the spaceship is coming down. But what happens, Joe? What do they discover?
Well, after giving a bit of heavy exposition on who these four people that are the crew of the ship are, the ship comes down and they find two people left. One woman that's very traumatized and forgetful, and a man whose entire arm's infected by some alien thing.
Okay, and so eventually the woman starts to come to, and they give her some kind of truth serum so she can tell them what happened because she's sort of blocked it out. And, okay, I'll tell you who the people are. They're a crew of four. And then at this point, the movie starts to go again. We had this little preface, and they tell us what's happening. This crew of four involves a captain, I think his name is Captain O'Banion. And
Thomas O'Banion.
Thomas O'Banion. And then the woman's name is Iris, and she's a scientist, but they like to call her Irish. And then there's a professor type. And these characters are very stereotypical, to be honest. He's the professor type that's always serious and everything. And then you have this character who seems to always show up in these space operas that are low budget. It's the fourth guy who's a wisecracker. And what's his name, Joe?
Chief Warrant Officer Sam Jacobs, and the previous guy is Professor Theodore Gattel.
Okay, thanks. I swear, every time I watch one of these movies, there's always a Sam character where they're like, one thing he'll say is, gee, I wonder what the Martian women look like. But anyways, okay. By the way, these wisecrackers always die. Okay, spoiler alert. So anyways, they're going to Mars, and they have a little bit of a problem getting there. But it takes a long time. Like I at one point, I think I saw 17 days, and they all get to Mars. And what's so interesting is they say stuff like, well, the air's thinner, but they probably have human life, right? Animal life and things like that.
Yeah, some level of life.
Yeah. They go out, and this is where this thing called CinemaMagic came in. They make Mars look very red or orange at times, and they're very faded as they're walking. And like I said, it's hand-drawn animation. And the budget was only $200,000, so I think they need to do this. And I just love it, but people didn't like it. And so okay, they're going to go out and explore. One thing I love about these science fiction movies, Joe, is they're facing incredible danger all the time, yet they still find time to talk like everything's normal. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, the crew has a good rapport with each other. I think that the romantic subplot between the colonel and the woman is a little bit too abrupt, but...
yeah, he talks about wanting to have a date in Manhattan, right?
Like, it just comes out of nowhere at the beginning, and then drops for a little bit, and then
okay.
I guess she cares at the end.
Yeah, so I want us to see the first clip where they encounter, what is this monster again, Joe?
Don't think it has a name. It's some rat, bat, spider, crab, lobster hybrid.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. I think the special effects, cheap as they are wonderful. So let's watch a couple minutes of the rat bat creature, spider, attack our brave, plucky astronauts, okay? Jack, thank you. You can see how everything looks faded and everything. And this is a more yellow-orange, but many times it's red.
Doesn't look like bark. Let me have your machete, Tom.
They think it's a tree right now. They'll soon learn it's not a tree.
It's like a tree with fingers.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It's alive! That is a creepy looking thing, all right?
Yeah.
What's the name of the actress, Joe?
Oh, Nora Hayden?
Nora Hayden. Okay, these are all veterans of these kind of movies, too. Les Tremaine, I think, is this professor.
Yeah.
I just think that's cool looking. You mentioned something. Where does it find a certain part of its anatomy or something, right? You were telling me something about the monster before.
Oh, just that it had a crab claw there.
Yeah, okay.
Prop's a bit stiff, but the cinemagic helps it look intimidating.
I think if you see this in a theater, you're not going to forget it, to be honest. All right. What are they shooting, Joe?
It's some sci-fi gun that maybe is a freeze thing, maybe is a sonic thing. It calls it Cleopatra, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, he's the goofy guy. Every time they go out of the spaceship, it's like this. Oh, that thing looks creepy. It really does. Okay, we can cut out now, Jack, and we can rest assured without giving anything away to the end of the plot that they tended to survive that attack. So I want to mention a couple things. The Angry Red Planet was a film that eventually had, I think it had an original title of A Trip to Mars or something. And American Independent released it. Once again, it was a pretty low budget. And so they went out and they made this cinemagic thing. And they also had an ending I'm not going to give away that has a kind of a twist ending that I haven't seen since The Day the Earth Stood Still or something like that. That I thought was pretty impressive. One other thing, Joe, this is on Svengoolie Saturday.
Oh.
And how do you think Sven will do with it?
I think I'll have a good time with it.
Okay. I don't think this has ever been on Mystery Science Theater.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I checked. I don't think I saw it anywhere. If I'm wrong, please correct me, people. Finally, I want to get to the second monster, which I also think is pretty effective. And this has a death. And guess, I think I already gave it away. The jokester Sam dies in this scene. But it's something that I've never, I remember the first time I watched this movie, I never forgot the way this astronaut died. Okay. Can we go to that?
Probably.
Okay, start it. Okay, here we go. They're trying to get away from this monster with a giant eye that's following them. They saw a city. That looks like something you'd see in Johnny Sacco, right, Joe?
Yeah. Not quite as effective as the previous monster, but that's a cool little...
Well, it's not as creepy looking, but I kind of like those eyes.
Irish, you can tell. Get back to the ship. Sam, try Cleo again. Yeah, right.
Now, you see, they shouldn't have told Sam to try the gun Cleo again.
He
That
would
was a
have done it anyways.
That was a mistake. Well, the script told him to anyways.
Well, no, I mean, like, his character already talked about how loving that gun. He's a weird guy.
So they keep running. That ship seems far away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It amazes me they go out there with no trouble after the bat creature. With no concerns, really.
Well, what are they going to do? They escaped that one with their guns, so...
Yeah. Okay, they're trying to get up. They're trying to get up. Thing gets closer and closer. Uh-oh. Sam didn't get in. And that scene, the first time I saw it as a kid, really creeped me out. Because to me, it was like a guy being dissected to death, but you say it's more like
He's being absorbed.
Absorbed.
Or disintegrated.
Disintegrated, yeah. Okay, we can stop it now. All right. I should mention, to be fair, that they didn't go out there just on a lark. The plot has them trying to leave, correct? And they're suddenly stuck down by a force field where they can't get out. So they go out and try to see a Martian city, which is beyond the lake and everything. I think this is a film everyone should see if you're a cult film. Particularly the 1960s, a low-budget science fiction. It's one of the better ones. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. It's there. I don't think it's on YouTube, although there are clips from YouTube.
Well, let's mention, it's the 83-minute long version that we found on Amazon Prime. And apparently there's also an 87-minute version, which has additional actresses, Arlene Hunter as Joan and Aline Hamilton as Joan's friend. Having just watched the 83-minute version, I have no idea where they would slot into this movie, but they apparently worked on it. So
maybe they were. I have no idea. Also, but once again, if you don't have Prime or you don't, show what used to be out. There used to be a 4 DVD set that had this movie from MGM.
So 4 sci-fi classics: The Man from Planet X, Beyond the Time Barrier, The Time Travelers, and The Angry Red Planet.
All 4 of those are great movies, fantastic films. One of them is directed by, I think Beyond the Time Barrier is directed by Edgar Ulmer, who's a classic director.
Yeah.
But that was a great deal when I think we picked it up in Shopko a long time ago. I'm sure you can still find it maybe on Amazon or eBay. But anyways, this is on Svengoolie on Saturday if you guys want to watch it. And I think it's worth watching. And it's one of those random B or C movies that at Plan9Crunch podcast and blog we just love. And this is Joe and I saying, go to Plan9Crunch on YouTube, subscribe to us. We have a Plan9Crunch podcast and blog page on Facebook. You can like or follow it. We have a podcast that shows up on Spotify and Apple and all those things. We have a TikTok page now on Plan9Crunch. And so thank you for your time. And we're going to do our little catchphrase. That's a wrap.